Hi, I'm Becky Dunlap, and today I will be unpacking the Math Mania camp supply bag for the 2019 Math Mania Classical Conversations Practicum Camp. So this bag will be waiting in your camper's classroom for you. The hostess will most likely put it in your room for you. And everything you need is going to be in this bag, and there's also a list on the front of the bag of everything you need to make sure it goes back into the bag when the camp is over. So first you will pull out the file bin. Inside your file bin is all of the paperwork that you're going to need for the camp. We have in the very front pocket our name tags for campers, just Avery mailing labels. And then we have our quick flip arithmetic, which has some very fun card games in it for if you find yourself with extra time that you need to fill, or the students just really love it. We have the math trivium table for you to use, not necessarily the students. On the back it has the N2K board, or you can use one of the ones for the students. It also has all of the other information. Much of it will be done by the parents in the practicum during the next 3 days. In this same folder, you will also have some tutor resource sheets, is what it's labeled on the bag. This is for the snake game that will be played during the camp, that will be led by you. We have some art pictures for when you talk about the golden mean. And so these were in your camp leader resource manual, and I laminated them so that you could pass them around to the students and you guys can talk about them, and they can then be put back in the bin for the next camp. So that is everything that is in this ring. The ring can be opened and they can be taken off, but I do ask that you put them back on for the next practicum. There will be 6 this year using this bin and this bag. I have them numbered 1 through 5 of 5 so that you know that you have them all on their ring. Also, in this same hanging folder are the games that you can use when you set up your stations, or if there is a rain day and you can't go out to recess, or you simply want to fill some time by having your team helpers do stations in the afternoon or whenever you are playing your math games. So many of these games are in your resource book. I did not laminate all of them, but they are all in here. They are also numbered so that you can make sure you have them all back together and on their ring and ready for the next practicum camp to use. Those are all of the items in the first hanging folder, and they will be primarily used by you at your discretion. Next are the student resource packets. There is one per student, and here is their manila envelope for all of their work to go into. This folder and this packet will not go home with the students until the end of day 3. So do not send this packet home any other day. It goes home with the students at the end of day 3. You can have them decorated, you can have them continue to put papers in it as they do their math work and as they play their math games. Then we have in the next hanging file our laminated national number knockout boards. There are 30 of them, so each student can have one, and you can have one too. After that, we have our graph paper. And in that same hanging file, we have our plain copy paper. And there is about half of a ream here. I did not count the sheets, I simply grabbed. And then in the final hanging folder, we have some math books. These are primarily for a younger age group, but the older kids might find them fun to help the youngers solve. But they're just some fun books that I had on my bookshelf that I use for Foundations Cycle 3 when we are talking about probability. And I have those listed by title and author on the front of the bag, so you can ensure that they all end up back in the bin. Again, at the very front of your bin, there is a little tiny book that I had already forgotten, and so you might too. In your curriculum for this 3-day camp, it is mentioned that you could use Ray's arithmetic for some word problems. It just so happens I had this on my bookshelf, and I use it in my homeschool to help me with some added math fun and problems, or solution solving, if you will. I need to learn the terms too. So this is in here. This is my personal copy along with the other books, and I have put my name and my phone number in the front of each of the books. So that is what is in your bin, your hanging file bin. Under your hanging file bin, you will find pencil boxes. Here we have supplies for a tutor. We have dry erase markers, Sharpie, clear tape, eraser, and Clorox wipes for the tables if you discover they need them. That was mentioned in your camp leader training, and so I wanted to make sure there was at least a small pack in there in case our host facility doesn't have any. Then we have colored pencils. I know that it says that the students will bring their own, but we had some Foundations and Essentials communities donate them for our practicum season this year so that we don't have to burden moms with remembering them. So there is an entire box of sharpened color pencils. Next, we have a box of scissors and dry erase markers. These are for the students to use when they're playing National Number Knockout. And I didn't put in any erasers because whenever my Essentials students play this board slam game, they use their fingers to erase it. So I didn't put in erasers to use up more space. Then we have our box of regular pencils for when they are doing any of the other math puzzles that you have them working on. We have a bin of 9 decks of playing cards. Our last bin has 3 decks of playing cards, blue poker chips for one of your table games, red poker chips for a different table game, and then a bag of 90 dice for when you play National Number Knockout or any of the table games. Now, I have done something in unpacking this bag, and so we begin to wonder, will it all go back in? It does. I've tried. And now you can watch me. I put the heavy things on the bottom. Oh, we forgot something. You can use this to make a large number line if that is something that you do with your class. I didn't create it for you because I wasn't sure if you would be using negative numbers or positive numbers or partial decimal numbers. You and the students get to design this. With your Sharpie and your clear tape and this, you should be able to make a very large number line. Back to repacking our bag. We're putting heavy things in the bottom because that makes sense. And then we are going to put the next heavier things in. We have our purple boxes, and then we do our pencils on their side. Our bin goes in on top of our pencil cases. And our last case, which has our tutor supplies, goes right in the side. And our number line tucks very neatly into the back, which is how I missed it the first time. Thank you so very much. That is our Math Mania camp bag.